Jerry and Charlie riding through the airwaves, bringing you the heat. Come on, pull your bands. Now get up out your seats. They're bringing you all things Mets. They're bringing you all things Mets. They're bringing you all things Mets. Now you're listening to Shea Station.
Today is Tuesday, May 26th, the 254th episode of Shea Station, presented by Coors Banquet. And boy, oh boy, are the Mets bad. Did we get fooled again, folks? Swept in Miami. A clunker against the Cincinnati Reds to start the series at home. The Mets had us fooled after that nice homestand against the Yankees and Tigers. We're back to square one, and I'm really excited to dissect it all with my good friend Jerry Blevins on this here show. Jerry, how are you doing after your long Memorial Day weekend?
You pump faked me. You said the Mets are, I was like, oh, are they back?
No, hell
and
no.
they said bad. Then you said bad. They are bad. They looked really bad again. But I'm good. Memorial Day, it was nice. Spent some time with the family, saw some fireworks, all good stuff.
Oh, beautiful. I learned last night that I have a neighbor that is a firework enthusiast. So I was hearing those go off. As close as I've ever heard them while not being involved with the fireworks going off. It was loud. But you know what? I felt his festivity going, and I really appreciated that.
That's either going to be a major blessing or an absolute disaster of a neighbor.
You know, I like that it was on a holiday where you set off fireworks, because the real troublesome neighbor is the one that sets it off for fun, just because they like fireworks. So that remains to be seen. We'll see how that develops. I had a nice weekend too, Jerry. Did a lot of honeymoon planning. You know, I'm not going to lie. I did not pay attention that much to the Mets. I had the games on because I do my due diligence, but they were more background fodder as I watched our lovely lineup swing and miss at balls right down the middle. Plenty of double plays galore. I saw Mark Vientos swinging a pitch that hit him in the leg. Our prize jewel, Nolan McLean, is going through a rough patch. There's really no positivity to derive from this team right now, which is so crazy because last week they had us spinning our gears talking about how they could possibly turn this thing around. And it really felt real. You know, I mean, obviously the Tyrone Taylor home run was a little bit of a miracle, and scoring that series win over the Yankees was a big step forward. But you won game one against the Nationals. You're up 5-0 in the second inning of game two. It feels like the Mets are about to go on some sort of run, some kind of heater where everyone's doing their part. And then ever since that inside the park grand slam, which again was not anyone's fault, especially Nick Morabito, ever since then it's kind of felt like the team just completely re-lost their footing, and now we're on this little skid here.
They slipped again? Is that what you're saying?
I think they slipped again. And the title of this episode is "Oh No, We Suck Again." So you know.
Look, there is some positive things. We're getting the young guys some experience, getting them some shine and bright lights. Some guys that we're getting to see, I guess. So if there's that, and Juan Soto's still a Met, and he's only sick. I think that's a good thing.
He has a fever, I think.
Yeah, that's a positive.
Look what the 2026 Mets have done to my great friend Jerry Blevins. They've beaten you down.
It's a rough one, man. It's a roller coaster that, you know, usually when it comes back up, you get some time to click, 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 click.
Mm-hmm. You get to enjoy it a little bit.
Psych.
Psych. I mean, in 2023, I think that's really the closest team I can associate this poor of play with. That was the year we went on hiatus. We only covered that team through like May. I think it was when they got swept by the Tigers. And then we were on a little bit of a hiatus there. So we've really never experienced, other than the beginning of 2024, this level of terrible Mets baseball. But this time we're in it, Jerry. We're in it for the long haul every week.
I'm going to enjoy it. I still am going to cover it, and I'll still do pre and post game. I still get to love the game of baseball. It's just going to be there's some major lumps. There's going to be some highs and some lows. We're just going through it right now, man. You know, it feels what was at least you guys got the Knicks, I guess.
Yes. I mean, well, I was going to ask you, are you a Cavs fan?
I am a Cavs fan.
Yeah, because you're from Ohio. That makes perfect sense. So plus even that you don't have right now. You're getting
Donovan
beat there
Mitchell.
Too. Jeez.
Donovan Mitchell is a friend who
right.
His dad works for the Mets. I mean, so I'm feeling it on both ends there.
Can you imagine being Donovan Mitchell in this moment, man? Swept by the Knicks, a team that you grew up rooting for. Your other team that you can still associate with without getting hate is the Mets, and they're terrible. It's just, I can't imagine the world he's living in right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's worried about the Mets at all, but he did give them a shout out.
That's good.
But you know, yeah, if you want to get into it, there are some good signs. I think it's weird. It feels worse because McLean's going through it.
Right.
And I think that like everybody felt like, well, at least we have McLean. You know, that's kind of been the saving grace. You know, we at least have a bright spot. But he's going through what every big leaguer goes through, especially one very young and talented like he is. So
yeah, I mean, I think to do some actual proper podcasting, I think the theme of this episode, even though I'm not, associating this losing streak with his struggles solely, but it is Nolan McLean, like this first real bump in the road of his major league career, which, by the way, we're only 19 games started into. He just crossed the 100-inning threshold of his career. He's 24 years old. He's a rookie, and I think it's weird to forget because we called him up in the middle of a playoff chase last year. We saw how poised he was. We see how nasty he can be and how hard he can throw, that it felt at certain points like this guy is absolutely invincible and has, this impenetrable armor that very, very few rookies and young players have. We're seeing him take lumps for the first time in his career, and it's coming from all sides. We're seeing the late hit by pitch that led to the James Wood Grand Slam. These little things that are kind of unraveling these outings for him. The walks, the wild pitches, all these things. We're seeing the erratic side of Nolan McLean. I guess like what have you seen from him in these last two starts specifically that you can pinpoint as these are things that have gone wrong, but why you shouldn't be worried about Nolan McLean long term?
well, he's having a hard time throwing his off speed for strikes.
Yeah.
Like especially early in counts. Like his ball spins so much. Like we all know that. Sometimes it spins too much and he can't make that adjustment. So when you fall behind, got to throw strikes. And again, his stuff moves so much. Even his fastball, that sinker, all of a sudden it starts out here, and you're when you're ahead or even in the count, you can try to hit a corner. But when you're behind and you have to throw it, that starts to leak over to the middle. And this is the big leagues, man. I don't care how good your stuff is. If you're predictable and you come through the heart of the zone, it's going to get hit sometimes. And it's compounded by the hit by pitches that in inopportune times and walks. But he's learning. It's the start, like in between starts. So he had a rough one, and he talked about it in the post game. He worked a little too hard in between his starts. Like these are the things that you're gonna learn. Like right. He wants to get better, so he's working his butt off in the bullpen between starts. And then he's out there on the fifth day, and he gets a little tired earlier than he wants to. These are the things that you learn as a big leaguer. You have, Freddie Peralta is the only guy there. Maybe Peterson, but they don't have that like established veteran. Right. I think Peralta's the guy that can like, hey, back it off. But you can't tell a guy like Nolan McLean to back it off because he's going to get tired, because he's going to have to learn it himself because he's never faced this before.
Yeah.
So we're just seeing a guy go through it, and he's still really good. Like that's not worried about him, but when the rest of your team has nothing else to help you with, and they're like hoping for you to kind of be the stopper, and you're not doing that, it just feels worse. So I'm not worried about him. I expect him to bounce back and have a really, really good season. I'm just I don't expect it with what's going on around him to see some pitches in October.
Yeah, I mean, like, it stinks for him circumstantially because this is now, 19 starts into his career. And most of those starts, he's been looked at as like the, please, man, we need you to throw up 6 scoreless today so we can get a win. And he's 24. Like, this is a guy that should be like no higher than a 3 or a 4 on a team that's trying to compete to win a World Series. But because the Mets have been beleaguered with injuries and just underperforming with the guys that are healthy, he has constantly been thrust into these, hyper important starts. And this is the first time we've really seen him not perform. So you're seeing the magnifying glass come out and say, what the hell is wrong with Nolan McLean. But I really think you nailed most of it there. I think it's just that hitters can really sit fastball when he can't locate the rest of his arsenal right now. I mean, we've seen it, the erratic nature of these breaking pitches, how much they move. It's fun to watch, but it gets less fun to watch when you can't even come close to locating them, and these hitters can really just sit back and wait for 94, 95 miles per hour in the zone. You saw that yesterday against the Reds. They popped 2 home runs against them, two guys that aren't really the household names that you'd come to see from around the league here. And then, James Wood was the guy that got him in Washington, but the point remains, I think he'll work it out. I mean, it's just going to be reps, and I think a little bit of learning experiences, like you said, but it also makes me kind of wish that, this is kind of random, but, I wish Nolan McLean got to be rotation mates with a guy like Max Scherzer or something like that. I feel like that probably went a long way for some of the other young guys that were pitching with him. And instead, there's really, like you said, no veteran ace workhorse on this staff. Freddie's the closest thing, but he's 30 years old, and I wouldn't exactly classify him as a workhorse. So it's going to be on McLean to want to kind of find his way through the forest of these struggles, which I think he's capable of because the guy has solid mentality. I think he's got good mental fortitude. It's just, it's tough to watch unfold because, he's the most fun pitcher to watch on this team, and to see him struggle, you could see it wear on him in the dugout yesterday too. They would cut over to him a lot when it was 7-0, which I felt was a little bit mean, but I understand what they were doing there. But yeah, it's kind of the symbol of this entire last week of Mets baseball, where we were building towards something great. We had this nice, softer road trip where we weren't going out west, and we were finally facing teams in our division, teams that we should be better than, and the Mets kind of underperformed in both those series. The Mets-Marlins series recap that I wrote, I think, is the shortest recap of notes I've ever put together in the 5 years that we've been doing this show. It's half a page for 3 games because nothing happened, man. Oh my God, 2 runs in 3 games. You had Juan Soto went 2 for 3 in the first game. The rest of the lineup went 1 for 25. Then Mark Vientos goes 2 for 3 in the second game. The rest of the lineup went 1 for 26. Then in the third game, AJ Ewing goes 2 for 4. And the rest of the lineup goes 3 for 27. So it was really just one guy showing up to the ballpark every day in that lineup. And it stinks because the Mets got some really good pitching in Miami. Game 1 specifically was a huge encouraging sign from Sean Manaea, who's now thrown 94 miles per hour and navigating traffic and looking confident. He gets piggybacked by Jonah Tong, who looks amazing. He's throwing a sweeper. He gets 3 scoreless innings. It doesn't matter because the Mets can only put up 1 run. Freddie throws 7 innings for the first time all year, battles back after some struggles against Liam Hicks, throws 108 pitches. It doesn't matter because no one can score. Then in the last game, Christian Scott finally vying for that first major league win, 5 2/3, no earned runs, arguably the best start of his young career. It does not matter because the Mets cannot score. And that's why this podcast is going to kind of feel like it's running in circles, just because the consistent theme of this entire season has been the Mets are doing enough on the pitching side and getting these performances from unlikely sources, and none of it is mattering because the lineup can't score.
Yeah, I mean that's it's the lineup, man.
It's
100% the lineup.
Oh, it's brutal, dude.
The lack of Jorge Polanco, the underperformance of Bo Bichette thus far.
Can I tell you something that I was doing the other night that was bad for me?
What was that?
I was watching 2025 playoff highlights just because it was a really good postseason. Jorge Polanco and Bo Bichette were absolute monsters in October.
Yeah, and Bichette was a beast coming off major injury.
He's on
and
one leg, Jerry.
It was like Schwarber when he came back.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
I mean, those are special runs, and that's what it takes. But they're offensively, the Mets this year. I mean, when Lindor gets back, hopefully that's a 1-2 punch with him and Soto. You just hope you have a product that's not going to bury these young guys and get them into this just losing trend. But it's the offense. It's been the offense since day one. The pitching staff has survived some lumps, ups and downs. Clay Holmes injury, some inexperience, and they've pitched really well so far, admirably so. But the offense has let them down nearly every single game. So
yeah, and I mean, you've seen like Brett Beatty come out of it a little bit ever since playing third base. Obviously, Soto, when he's on the field, he was on an absolute heater. You know, he's already up to 10 home runs on the year in 37 games, which is unbelievable. But you can't really enjoy that because there's no real supporting cast outside of Benj, who's had a really nice month of May. AJ Ewing has shown us a lot in his early cup of coffee here. But again, this is not the situation you want to thrust these rookies into, man, where the pressure of the world is on them and the team is just losing so constantly. Before we go on with today's episode of Shea Station, I want to shout out Coors Banquet for sponsoring this episode and every episode of Shea Station that you've listened to during the 2026 regular season. Baseball is America's pastime, and the traditions of the game go just as far back as its history. But baseball is more than a game, and Coors Banquet is more than just a beer. Coors Banquet is straight from the Rocky Mountains and has been crafted for over 150 years. The Coors Banquet brewing tradition has remained constant since 1873 and only uses the finest ingredients. It's an American lager named to honor the celebratory toasts of American miners. It's as ingrained in American culture as baseball itself. And just like baseball, the Coors Banquet story is woven into the fabric of American history. Get Coors Banquet delivered straight to your door. Visit Coors.com/Shea, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. That's Coors.com/Shea, SHEA, or you can just look on the screen. There's plenty of logos everywhere for our show. Start your legacy. Coors Banquet, a proud partner of the New York Mets. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer. Thank you to them for sponsoring today's episode. Now let's get back to our show. I want to get your take on this because we didn't get the chance to talk about it on Monday. So Nick Morabito gets called up. So far, looks like the game is moving a little fast for him. The Mets are getting him reps, but it just looks like he might not quite be ready. Did you see the discourse about the uniform number online? Did you see any of this?
Yeah, with the Gary Carter.
Yeah. What was your opinion on that?
I mean, like if it's not retired, then retire it if you don't want somebody to wear it.
Right. And I think it's an oversight on the Mets part for sure if they knew it would lead to some sort of controversy. But at the same time, if it's not retired, it's not retired.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the kid's fault. He doesn't probably get to choose. It's just handed to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think the line of thinking was he wore number 7 in AAA. Brett Beatty wears 7, so he was like, all right, I'll just wear 8. And that was the end of the line of thinking, and it turned into this giant thing.
The game has changed since I got to choose my number, but when I got called up the first few times, it was, this is the jersey that you're going to wear.
And you said, okay.
64, exactly what I would love to choose.
You said, 8 times 8. I love that number.
Yes, exactly. 64, it's so pretty. I feel like a left tackle. But then you get to choose, and they give you, they're like, all right, so what numbers do you want? We have 5, 7, 13, 24. And I was like, perfect, 13 for me.
Bang.
But they probably would like, he's like 7, 8, like whatever. They just give him a list of numbers if this is how it happened. And he's like, 8, perfect. It's close. He doesn't know Gary Carter.
Right.
I mean, maybe he does, but he doesn't know the number.
No, I'm going to say that Nick Morabito doesn't know Gary Carter. I'm going to go out on that limb and confirm that for you.
I mean, even if he did, though, he'd be like, all right, well, maybe his numbers, he would wear a different number. It doesn't matter. But I thought it was, I mean, I get it. He's beloved. But if his number's not retired by now, what are you waiting on?
And this is no effort to besmirch Gary Carter or what he did with the New York Mets. And I heard legend from my dad growing up about how much he loved Gary Carter. But again, it was an unfortunate situation to put this rookie in his major league debut, a rookie that got beat up in that game, by the way, crashed into multiple walls, got hit by a pitch. Like, it was just not as least fun as a debut could be for a major league rookie was Nick Morabito's. And it feels like ever since that day, the Mets have just kind of sunk themselves back in the mud, whether it was intentional or not. But I wanted to bring that up because I keep seeing it pop up, and I'm like, what? This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter.
Oh, it's
to me
left
at
my
all.
algorithm. I haven't seen it much.
Good. I'm happy it's left your algorithm,
Good.
Jerry. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, there's really not much you can say about this offense that is just completely downtrodden. We did get a flurry of good updates from Steve Gelbs, who was first on the beat with all this, which I thought was really fun. The reinforcements are coming. Is it too late? It's hard to say. I think it's too late. But Francisco Lindor has started doing baseball activities. No timetable, but he's progressing. We heard June for him, so maybe we'll get June Francisco Alvarez is a freak, in the words of Steve Gelbs. He's already hitting and doing catching drills. He's going to beat out his 8-week timetable. Both Jared Young and AJ Minter come back in this series, which I can't believe how excited I am to watch Jared Young play baseball. If you told me that in March, I think I would have been surprised at my reaction, but he looked so good when he was healthy for the first week of the season. So can't wait to get that bat back in the middle of the lineup and just see what he can do, because he is going to play. When he's healthy, that man's playing.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
And again, I am not the greatest baseball player that ever lived.
No, come on. You're up there.
I like Jared Young. He is going to be 31 this year.
Okay, 31 years young.
Yeah, and he made his debut in 2022.
Yeah.
Why are you so excited about him?
Why am I so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so okay.
This is just putting into perspective how bad the offense has been.
Right. So I think the actual answer is like he has like one of the hardest hit balls of the year. He was smoking the cover off the ball when he was playing here for the 1 week. He can play first base well, which is we haven't seen a ton of that this year. The actual answer is that I'm so sick of seeing the same guys in this lineup every day do the same thing that any new name at all, like it could be from AA, a 19-year-old, any new name will derive a ton of excitement from me. So the fact that Jared Young is like getting me going, like we might see him in the lineup tonight, whoo baby. Like this is as bad as it's ever been since, like, I'm talking like before you were a Met, Jerry, like the early 2010s, the absolute wasteland of Mets seasons that I watched all 162 games of. This season is reminding me of that season, only it's on such a much more massive scale, considering the payroll, considering the way the stadium operates now, considering all the sideshows that go on during an average game at Citi Field, considering how much it costs to go to a Mets game and actually enjoy it. It feels like it's on a much larger scale, and yet the performance on the field is very much reminiscent of those early teams where everyone was playing out of position, no one was hitting for power, and they were getting just enough pitching, but none of it really mattered. And that's what this really feels like. But hold on, Jerry. There's more reinforcements coming. Jorge Polanco could go on a rehab assignment this week. He could, which is huge for us.
Is his Achilles better?
It might be a new injury that we haven't even heard of yet, Jerry.
His wrist. He went on with the wrist, and then
right?
the Achilles is like.
But now the wrist is okay.
Good days, bad days.
And now the Achilles is good days, bad days. And also you'll get a BP video of Jorge Polanco every day. And then you'll wonder why can't he DH? And you will get no answers. But he could go on a rehab assignment this week, Jerry.
I mean, so
you're bursting from the seams right now with excitement. I need you to calm down.
I'm frustrated.
No.
I'm frustrated with the offense.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's the same product. And I want to see the young guys. I'm nervous that when Polanco comes back, that he's going to eat up, they're going to eat up time for AJ. Ewing's not going to get time when Luis Robert Jr. gets back.
That guy might never come back. We haven't heard a thing about Luis.
Yeah, that's true. He's dealing with some stuff. I'm just worried, because this season again, it's not lost yet.
Yeah,
but there are some things to be gained for the future. A healthy Polanco makes you better, but is it a waste of time now? I don't know. I just want to make sure that these young guys get a chance to develop. And maybe they win some ball games. So hopefully, if they come back, I hope they produce.
Yeah, I think the thing that I'm grappling with the most is that, like, we haven't even played the Braves yet. We haven't played the Phillies yet. Like, we haven't even
Season's not over.
Like, I'm saying, like, we haven't even faced hard competition yet this season. Like, we are still in the light part of the schedule, and we're just getting our asses handed to us every night.
Yeah.
So I think that's the part that worries me the most. At least we'll have the major league players on the roster to play in those games. That'll, I think, be some sort of saving grace. But at the same time, I'll ease your worries. I don't think AJ Ewing's going anywhere. I think he's still going to play every day, just because, like, him and Bench in the outfield has been really the only thing besides Clay Holmes before he got hurt that you can draw from the season as a positive. I mean, we were even getting excited about Devin Williams again. And I don't know if you saw this. Devin Williams spoke in a press conference after his save in Washington and basically revealed to the press that he knew that he was tipping his pitches. So he was raising and lowering his hands, and that was helping him. And then in Miami, when he gave up the grand slam to, let's confirm this guy's name, Heriberto Hernandez, who you knew before going into the series, right? You knew all about him. Before that grand slam, you can see in the clip, Devin Williams is tipping his changeup. The second baseman signals to Hernandez that it's going to be a changeup, and it ends up in the middle of the zone and ends up a grand slam. So even that was trending in the right direction and has now gone awry as well. So it's just this is a rant podcast for me. I'm a calm ranter.
It's okay.
I don't get like angry. I just get like exasperated, if that makes sense.
Therapy, man.
Yeah, this is therapeutic for me. I feel like I'm just kind of talking at you, and I apologize.
That's okay. I'll take it. I do it. That's part of the gig.
Right.
But I understand, man. And Devin Williams, I agree. Like, it's knowing that you're tipping pitches and then fixing is they're two different things.
Right.
Sometimes it's really hard to fix. Sometimes it's easy. I hate that the runner on second is looking in the glove and then signaling in. I'm never for fix it. You could fix it, but in the moment, like it is what it is.
I feel like he was tempting fate a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
By speaking it into existence.
Correct.
Yeah.
I just want to see some life. We saw some signs of life. I want to see some fight. I want to see the heads held high. I want to see good at bats. I want to see, they did get thrown out like trying to steal bases.
They don't even steal bases anymore.
I like it. Keep trying, though.
I'd keep trying, but it bums me out. We were the best team in baseball last year. What happened?
Keep it moving. Morabito, keep trying. Ewing, keep trying. Yeah. Like that was a big moment in the ninth inning.
Ewing's been shocking to me. 3 for 6 so far, but it still looks like he's like getting a good jump and like I don't know.
It's timing. It's knowing when you got to go. It's size of your lead. All the above. This is the big leagues, man. These guys throw. The middle infielders, like I think that's an underappreciated thing is how good they put the tags on. That tag that in the ninth inning that the Marlins put on, that was a tough throw to like. I mean,
the one that he got caught on in Washington too was a throw like up the line, and then CJ caught it, and when he caught it, he was just right at his foot, so it worked out perfectly.
Yeah,
like, dude, come on.
But keep taking those chances because our offense stinks. Like you have to force it. You have to force the issue.
Right.
So keep it going. Learn little tricks of the trade. This is the one thing. Like maybe Jose Reyes can come be around the team a little bit more often. When he's in town. Because I remember being in Oakland and having Ricky Henderson.
I was just gonna say this. I'll let you finish though.
Having Ricky around, like it just made guys better because you can be like, all right, what are you looking for there? Or, what were you seeing? And Ricky's a different animal.
Right.
He'll get out and show you, or rest in peace. One of my favorites of all time. Great human. You would just learn by being around someone that can do it. And so Lindor, when he's coming around, talking to Soto, learning what it takes to be a good base stealer. These are the things that these guys got to learn. Like, there's so much youth movement in baseball, and I love a lot of it, but a lot of it comes with some of these blunders. The guys don't learn the little nuances of the game.
Yep.
They're learning it in the big leagues, and that's trouble for some guys. When you push for so much youth, there's a reason why experience isn't there, and you'll see some bumps along the way. But it's fine. Keep staying aggressive. I think it's necessary, especially when your offense is as anemic as it is. You have to force the issue.
Good word. And I was actually, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to bring up Ricky, but not for his time in Oakland. He was the first year of his retirement when he was still trying to, play anywhere he could. He signed on as an instructor with the Mets in 2007 and worked with Reyes and a couple of the other guys on base stealing technique. And then that year, Reyes stole 78 bases. It was the most of his career. Ricky left shortly after because he wanted to keep playing. I think he played for independent league teams just so he could.
Probably played for the Ducks.
I think he played for the Newark Bears because I remember I grew up in Jersey and it was like a big thing going on that Ricky was like in town playing baseball. But yeah, I think this team is just really missing its veterans right now. And it's cool to see all the rookie talent, but at the same time, like they very much need the guidance, and that's just not it's not there right now. Before we continue on with today's show, I want to thank the Fanatics Sportsbook for sponsoring today's episode. When the batter steps up to the plate this baseball season, Fanatics Sportsbook is helping every pitch hit different. One of the best parts about Fanatics Sportsbook is FanCash, and every customer can get up to 10% back on their bets, win or lose. FanCash is the ultimate currency of the sport. Use it to unlock profit boosts, place more bets, or cash it in for merch, collectibles, exclusive experiences, and more. More rewards means more reasons to stay in the game. And new this season, the Long Ball Jackpot. Bet $5 on the game's longest home run, track it live, and compete for a piece of a $50,000 FanCash jackpot. Make every bet count at Fanatics Sportsbook. From the first pitch to the final outcome, see why winning hits different here. Must be 21 and over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. CT call 888-789-7777. MA call 800-327-5050. New York call 878-HOPE-NY. MD, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app. And now let's get back to the show. I do want to get you talking about some of the young pitching, though, because as bad as the baseball has been, the young pitching has been showing up. Jonathan Pintaro got the call. So far, he's got 3 1/3 scoreless. Obviously, McLean is sort of another story right now, but Christian Scott had a great start. I think the biggest one, obviously, for me, a guy that might be starting tonight. We don't have confirmation on that still, as per the recording of this episode. Jonah Tong came up. It was a bit of surprise to me. I thought they were going to give him a little bit more time to marinate in AAA, but they saw the need to get some bulk from him. Came up against the Marlins, 3 innings, looked pretty dominant doing so, was in the zone, got a double play when he needed it. What did you see from this first outing of Jonah Tong that has you excited moving forward?
It surprised me too, the call up.
Yeah.
That shows you that they understand that they can't wear the bullpen out like they have been. That was an unsustainable how they were using these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I was impressed by what I saw. More body language wise, and because he's got the great stuff. Mm-hmm. His maturity is where, you know, and it's not that he's immature, and I don't say that lightly. It's the way his body language is on the mound. There's a lot of like, he shows his feelings even when he's like being negative to himself. He wears it, and he's like, he'll slump when he misses a pitch, or it'd be like, what am I doing there? That kind of thing when he catches the ball. That will wear on you, and the other team will take advantage. It sounds silly, but it's a fact. What I saw from him in Miami was locked in, focusing on what he has to do, not pouting when he didn't make a pitch. And again, pouting is a strong word to use. It's not, but it magnifies it when your shoulders are slumped over and you're kind of walking around like you're not doing things. If you miss, pretend like you did it on purpose. The hitter doesn't know. Your catcher knows, but he's like right with you, like, nice job. I saw more of that. I saw him being aggressive, moving around, just understanding the moment and not look like he's working on things. He looked like he was attacking. I was impressed by that. Pintaro was the same. It's the first outing, so throwing up zeros is huge. We've seen the adverse of it, but I'm excited to see both of these guys throw more. Obviously, we know what Jonah Tong and his future means to the Mets and what they're capable of doing going forward. If it is him starting, I'm going to be locked in even more than I would be, because I want to see the little things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reason to watch first and foremost, but I like that you mainly focused on body language, because it was two sides of a sword last year, getting to see this 21-year-old skyrocket through the minor leagues, seeing like kind of the childlike wonder on his face when he got the call and had his first good outing and got his first win and all this stuff. Like, that stuff really endears you to a baseball player. But at the same time, it's exactly what you said. It's also can be a sign of some sort of weakness when you're in a competitive state. And he just looked like more cerebral in his outing in Miami. Like, he wasn't celebrating the wins that much, and wasn't letting the minor faults that came in that outing face him much at all. I would like to see the Mets use some sort of opener tonight or protect him in some way. I don't really want to see Jonah try and go 5. I want them to really ease him into this whole thing, because, again, he wasn't like excelling at AAA before he got this call. There were good outings sprinkled in with bad outings where he's still trying to figure out this tertiary and possibly a fourth pitch as well. So just ease him in, don't overexpose him, because unfortunately we've had to overexpose a lot of our rookies this year. Some of them have succeeded, some of them not so much. And I think Tong, the number one prospect in the system after Ewing got promoted, he could do well with a certain amount of protection. And I know that, the competitor in him is obviously not going to agree with that. But I think if we can keep him sort of in this weird hybrid starting relief role where it's 3 or 4 innings at a time, 2 times through the order max, I think you're going to get good results from him because like you said, the stuff is electric. You don't agree?
I hate it. I hate it. I
hell?
hate protecting him, man.
Why?
I hate it.
Give me a
Let
reason.
him pitch. Keep his pitch count up. Keep his innings count up. Again, this is about the future. He's not. What are the odds? Honestly, what are the odds right now that the Mets make the playoffs? What are the odds?
Probably like 95%.
That they miss?
No, they make. You don't
That
believe?
they make the playoffs? don't they calculate that somewhere?
Yeah, I can pull it up on their baseball
Pull it
reference.
up
I think
real
it was 1.5% or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
obviously those are
1.5%.
1.5.
Yeah, that's baseball reference.
Okay, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's still possible. And again, I'm an optimist. But to me, they are 100% going to play baseball in the future. And a big part of that is Jonah Tong. So as much as I want to see him have success and build on that, I want to see him keep his innings up, keep the pitch count up. If you have to pull him early, pull him early. But I don't want him protected with an opener. Like, I don't see the bonus in that for him psychologically, physically. I want to see him pitch and try to go deep into games. Or if it's 5 and dive, then so be it. Let somebody come in behind him. But let him get more starts under his belt. Let him get the bumps and bruises that it takes with that. That's how I feel. The other piece that I wanted to comment on was your use of tertiary. That was wonderful.
Thank
Great
you, man. I
word.
appreciate it. Thank you for bouncing back after, tearing down my entire, 2 minutes there with a nice compliment.
Yes. Well, I understand what you're saying.
No, I get what you're saying too.
I don't want to keep, the floaties on his arm. I want him to learn how to swim on his own.
Yeah.
With, there's some people that need to be babied in there, and you can put the floaty on him. I want to throw him in and let him figure it out on his own.
I mean, as a random example, and I'm not saying he's going to become this, but, Justin Verlander's first year in the show, he started every game for a pretty bad Tigers team that turned it around and made the World Series the next year. So who the hell knows what's going to happen, folks? I just don't think the World Series is in the cards for the Mets this year.
Hold on. They made the World Series his second year?
Yeah, he came up in 2005. Oh, it was only a pair of starts, but he was, he got shelled in those 2 starts. They brought him back in the rotation. He was a fixture for all 30 starts, and they made the World Series. That was 06.
That's pretty good.
That was the year the Mets probably should have won it all, and then they didn't because the Cardinals did. But that's enough twisting of the knife in this audio for you Mets fans. I do, for those listening on or watching on YouTube, I do have a copy of the book about the 1993 Mets, 92 Mets, Worst Team Money Could Buy. I'm reading that for my video this week, so if you want some more Mets content, I think I'm doing a video essay all about that team because the parallels are numerous between that team and this team. Although I did say to Jerry before we started recording the show, and I want to say it here, they had the highest payroll in baseball with a grand total of $45 million. They surpassed everybody else with not even 1 year of Juan Soto's current contract, just to put it all in perspective. So this is a season that has never really been seen before, and hopefully will never really be seen again because these Mets they're making history, Jerry. They're making history in a certain type of way.
Well, let's find the most positive because there's so much baseball left.
God,
there's so many playoff spots that are available.
So much left.
Do something crazy, man. Just fight. Just show some fight.
Yeah.
Give
me a reason to watch every night. I'm gonna watch anyway, but give me like a good reason to watch. You know what's tough? Entertaining questions from my fiance about why I'm still watching, other than that's just like I have to do it for the show and all this stuff.
It's because you love the Mets, and even when they stink, you love the Mets.
And I'm trying to show her that's like, hey, this is the token of a very loyal person. Like I think one of my best redeeming qualities is my loyalty, and even in what has been an utterly painful, joyless watch outside of 1 week this year, I'm still watching every night. And I bet you most of the listeners are too,
Your love isn't, it isn't fickle.
It's not. It's thick.
Yeah.
It's boundless. Jerry, we got 2 more games against the Cincinnati Reds. David Peterson pitches tonight against, oh my God, Chase Burns is going to annihilate this lineup tonight. But then in the finale, don't worry, the Mets face a left-handed pitcher, and they're really good against left-handed pitchers. Don't look up the numbers, just take my word for it. That might be the game that Jonah Tonk starts. Then Thursday, we have an off day. We are spared from Mets baseball before we welcome back the demon Miami Marlins, this time on our turf. Weekend series, Freddie Peralta, and oh no, it's Max Meyer again. Christian Scott goes for win number 1 on Saturday. Hopefully we can get him that. Please get him his first win, man. Jesus.
Number 1.
Please, number 1. And then Nolan McLean gets the Sunday game against Jansen Junk before we head all the way across the country to Seattle for a 3-game series in the Pacific Northwest.
Back
Jerry,
to the West Coast.
back to the West Coast. That's
For the
what I
fourth
want.
time?
I think so. It's either 3rd or 4th, and there's a 4th coming after it. I don't know.
I think it's the 4th and then the 5th.
Oh, great. Good. That's
Bananas.
exactly what this team needs. They need
Again,
another
no
fucking-
excuses, but that is so much travel and so
Super fucked
difficult
up.
to do.
It's super fucked up. I'll give them that. I wouldn't want to do
Like,
that.
why
either.
is they? What are they doing? Why are they so mean to?
I don't.
The
I
Mets
think the
scheduling?
league is rigged against us, Jerry. I'm glad you said it out loud. I've been thinking it all episode. That's the only way you can rationalize this bullshit.
Oh.
That's all I got. You got anything else?
I'm good, man. Let's go Mets. Let's have some fun. Let's
Let's
watch
go
some.
Mets.
Let's watch some. Hopefully, Jonah Tong come out there and start.
That'd be
and have a
nice.
good one.
I wish we got Jonah Tongue versus Chase Burns. That's my only wish, but we're not going to get it. So whatever.
It's all right.
Let's go Mets. Thank you for listening. If you watched on YouTube, leave a like and subscribe to the channel.
Thank you to Coors.
Thank you to Coors, Jerry. Soon we'll be getting a new Coors brand as our presenting sponsor. So stay
Okay.
tuned for that if you're not staying tuned for
staying
Mets
tuned.
baseball. And shout out to you guys for listening all the way through. You're probably a masochist just like us, and we appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets.
Shea Station, Jerry and Charlie. Shea Station, Jerry and Charlie. Thank you all for coming. Hope you enjoyed the show. We will see you next time, where we'll be back.
Station.